So we just got off the train. We are about to head to game day. It's a pretty nice, out-of-the-way place. It's on Myrtle Avenue if you ever decide to travel out here to New York City. Every Wednesday they have a tournament at 7:30, so make sure to get here just early enough so I can sit down, relax. The last time I was over there, I took second, split it, and it was fine. This time I'm gonna try for something a little bit more aggressive. I'm gonna be more decisive in my combo lines. And you guys are gonna see that. I just hope you enjoy it. That's all.
Nice quiet place. Nothing too crazy.
Damn it! Absolutely terrible.
Brother.
Well, you got the scratch, but you didn't win the lottery.
Yeah.
So I'm going first. I start off with the good old-fashioned Prankins engine, Roxy's into Meow Meow. I actually reveal Parallel in hand. I get the supplier. It's basically just building a really big board. I will explain all this in the deck profile that I put up later. But essentially, if you can open up Roxy's, you've already got a good +3 or +4. You can also end on Granite off of that combo, and you get yourself Researcher if you don't have it, get yourself Seeker if you do have it. Usually this deck's end boards are really strong. It's just something that a lot of people during this tournament had to go up against and really consider what they're going to do to out it. Because it's not just your standard, Omni negates. It's different interruptions. You've got DPE, you've got a DD Crow from Raptite, you've got the Scythe block. Like, there's a lot to deal with. So it ends up that my opponent here for round 1 is playing Mech Knights. Now, I'm not sure what he was trying to do, as he did have to play through Scythe, 3 Appaloosa negates, and a DD Crow from the Raptite, because I already used DPE in the standby to summon Scythe, which is something that I actually had to learn the hard way from one of my opponents. Though the tournament before, he was giving me really good advice, like, if you have the option to trigger Scythe and DP in your standby, so that way you won't have to lose to Droplets or Dark Ruler. It's just very good things you need to pick up on if you're going to be playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Not even just playing Adamancipator in general, but just playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Will give you a lot of practical training that you need. So he actually kaiju's my Baron, which I didn't see coming, and it's a little bit annoying to have to deal with, but I do keep it on the board long enough so that way he can't kaiju me again. So game 2, he decides to just go ahead and go first. I do end up ashing his World Legacy Survivor, which is an Excavate 5, and for a system you can only Link Summon, but that's fine because he does get to go off with the World Legacy Memory. He summons out Purple Nightfall, gets Girsu, sends World Crown. He goes in, but then he makes an interesting play and summons Spectrum Supreme, which I don't think actually does anything on my turn. It just makes itself untargetable and undestroyable like card effects. So I'm just playing around a Spectrum Supreme. I'm not really sure what to expect of it, because he does have 2 cards left in hand, so I'm just doing the standard combo. Going second, however, I do decide to just make the Dragite, I apologize, Dragite, and bounce it. But I do actually miscalculate my damage, and he's left with 500, and he Sphere Modes me for my neglect. It's very painful. Yeah, so he gets his own little board set up here. He adds World Legacy Secrets, which is at the time I didn't realize it. It is a walking monster negate in the same column that a Mech Knight monster is in. And I learned that the hard way when I tried to summon Access Code here. Well, not here, but a few seconds later. Yeah, I tried to summon Access Code, and I just pay for it. I don't read. Reading is essential. So, since I was able to put back the Dragite, I thought to myself I might have a play next turn. and he gets to go off now. He makes his link plays, he makes lib, he sets a World Legacy secrets, he goes in, but I Nibiru him because he plays into the nib, and he doesn't really have any more follow-up plays. My turn, normal summon Guardian, and he tries to see if he can really play through that. He gets a Purple Nightfall. He's going to attempt to get a search, but there's nothing really he can do about it. Round 2 is a little bit more interesting. I know the guy that I'm playing against, and I'm expecting to go first, which I do. He lets me go off. I get all my board setups. I get my Guardian activated off the Researcher. I do the whole Scythe Lock. This deck is very, very fun and very, very easy to play once you get the hang of it. And I still haven't got the hang of it, as you will see later on in the next round. But yeah, first game, he really won't know how to break this board. I've built this board specifically just to make sure that he's not going to be able to play through it. Like 3 Appaloosa Negates, DPE, Scythe. Last tournament, he played Phantom Knights. I thought he was still playing Phantom Knights, so I was like, okay, I've got this board on lock. Alright, I can do it. And yeah, he sits there for a moment. He doesn't really know how to play through it. And he bluffs me by letting my prior knowledge dictate the game, which is really clever on his part. I'll give him that. So he just scoops up game 1, doesn't even play into anything, so I think he's still playing Phantom Knight. So I decide for going second against Phantom Knight, and that is my downfall. Because as it turns out, he is actually playing Flunder. It is not a fun match to go against, I will tell you that. I Ash his Prosperity, I Lightning Storm him for 1, but he Ashes my Seeker. And since I can't really summon anything, I don't have any other extenders, I just have to hold that. Yeah, I just punch him for 12, let things resolve, and I just go right to game 3. I don't even feel like playing through all the Flunder cards. Yeah, game 3 on the other hand is a very, very good, nice and easy blowout after I properly side in and I pile shuffle. Very tedious thing to have to do, but what can you do? You still take a little bit of time to side. This entire tournament was just me getting used to dueling under like a third party lens. Like, I'm not really used to playing under a camera, so I will end up messing up, later. But for the most part, it's just me doing the same things that I always do. Researcher, getting a really good hit on the Excavate, Guardian. I end up making Boral Savage here. This deck, as it was right now, is still incomplete because it needs a Formula Synchron in the extra deck. Its placeholder is Unicorn right now, but I would prefer to run Formula Synchron. It would just be so much better, and I would be able to go to the Baron on their turn. So he Lightning Storms my back row, which is actually a really good idea for him, but he still didn't have any way to play through those gates. This, round 3, is the round where I lose really horribly. I will just save you the time and effort into explaining why. But he lets me go first. I do a lot. He ends up trying to debate whether I can activate Parallel, because I already drew for the Roxy's, and I'm just like, you know what, fine, I'm tired, I'll let you just have that. I'll just activate Parallel later on. And I still make a decent board, but I do miss the Appaloosa here. I did misplay quite a lot in this turn. So he's playing Tri-Brigade, Lyrilusk. He tries to play through Scythe Lock. He's got enough resources on hand to where he can build a wall, but he only gets over to the Scythe. I normal summon Analyzer, and I get a good hit. I make Dragite, and I just end up really breaking this board. It's not much he can do under 3 negates and a DPE. Game 2, this is where he gets to go first, and I don't see any of my sided in cards. I think I sided like 11 cards. Oh no, I sided in 7, yeah. It is just so tough to play against this deck if you just don't see like anything. He activates the Karas. I don't remember what he discarded. I think it was a Nerval. It's just so... This deck just has so many, like, really strong plays, and if you can't play through it, like, it's not gonna end well. Yeah, he's like, I impermed his Tri-Brigade play, which was the Fractal. Not Fractal, it was Kit. He summoned Kit, but it's just so strong. Like, I just had to give it to him right there. Just go to game 3. Game 3 was a real grind fest, I might add. It is just so... Against really like grind game heavy decks, I find that Adamancipator doesn't have like all the gas it needs to. Like it's really strong engine, but there is not much gas in that engine. I'll give it that. So yeah, he actually gammaed my my researcher, which is really infuriating. So I have to end on just DPE and analyzer, which he ends up breaking with Zeus. I end up getting a Prank Kids and Parallel. I try for the life of me to break through Droplets and Zeus, but it's not enough. Like, I can even put up a board, but it's still not enough. Like, I get a 2-material Appaloosa on board, I punch him for 1350, 1150, and 16, but I can already feel that he's just going to end up breaking my board a lot. This actually presents an interesting dilemma here, because we have to spend a few minutes debating on the rulings of I believe Cobalt Sparrow and Celestine Wagtail. I'm not sure what its name is. I'm probably wrong on that. I will correct myself later. I promise you that. But yeah, it's just very messy. I think he was just trying to like be a little bit cheesy. I'm not gonna say he was trying to slow play. Like, everyone played really well this tournament, except me. But yeah, he's just going through his odds and ends. He's getting his Tri-Brigade stuff, and eventually I'm just gonna pass it to him because it's not anything I can really go up against here. So as of this standing, I'm now 2-1. This was the last round before Top Cut. As it stands, I was top 4. This is going up against Sword Soul. Now, I'm fairly certain people thought I was cheating because every game I opened Parallel, it was just so... Parallel is such a good card in this deck. Apologies to the Cybers players who we stole this from. I'm so sorry. Like, if it weren't for Parallel, like, half this deck's combos would be done on arrival. But yeah, I get the Raptite, I get the Savage with a negate for his turn. I do end up settling to make an Appaloosa and the DPE with the Savage. And I don't know what he's playing until, well, after the tournament, obviously. So he Desires, I actually Savage his Desires. And I feel like that might have been the wrong play to do under most circumstances. But considering the hand that I had, it was pretty decent. He couldn't go into much, and he tries to use Taya. He searches Protos with the Heavenly Dragon Circle by tributing Taya. And so now my main play is to just stop all his Tenyis from getting onto the board, so that way he can banish them for Protos. Like, Appaloosa just gave me that game very gladly on a silver platter. Game 2, he decides to go first. I'm letting him just check his phone and do all that. Let him do whatever he needs to do. Yeah, I'm like, it's very interesting because I'm not a very, like, rush down player. Like, I'm not gonna be like, hey, can you stop checking your phone, do this? No. Like, if you have stuff to do, just do it. I'm not gonna care. So he ends up bricking. He goes Taya, set Blackout. I open Lightning Storm, and he doesn't have any hand traps. I'm just going full steam ahead here. Didn't open Parallel this game, though, so that just proves the theory of me opening Parallel every single game. I go into Raptite, I get a hit onto a Guardian, I make Hulk, I summon Plague Spreader. He Veilers my Guardian and tries to nib, but I do have Crossout, and that's just the game right there. He did not want to play through that. Round 5. This is the interesting one because this was top cut. Shout out to my friend Ronald. He was an absolute trooper this game. Yeah, he's just going through. He called out 2 of my cards because he's seen me playing this deck a handful of times, and I'm just like, you know what? Yeah, fair enough. So I'm just going in. He doesn't have any responses. He's just trying to play through it. My board is Baron, DPE, and it's just so much to have to play through. Like, I already scythe locked him. He's trying to play through with Mech Knights. This is the second Mech Knight that I've actually had to play this tournament, which is really interesting. I ashed his Fusion his Fusion Destiny, and he's just like, man, that's so cool. I'm just going through the motions again, playing this combo out. Open the Roxy's, and it's just so much advantage. So the board right now is Guardian, DPE, Rab-type with a Wind Engrave, Dodo Doodle Doo, and a Dragite, and there's just so much he has to play through. I bounce his board, and we go right to game 2. Now, game 2, I will admit, I didn't open the best, and it was just so interesting to play against. I also misplayed, and I was like, the moment I saw him flip over, there can be only one, I'm just like, yeah, no, I don't want to play through this game, I just want to go first again. Like, he gets his board to go off, he goes Gearsu, I don't have any response for that, he flips there can be only one, and I am just not happy. It is almost infuriating. I tried to Ice Dragon Prison to banish his DPE, but I flipped it too early, and it just doesn't end well. It's not fun. I just scoop it up, go right to game 3. It's very interesting to see how many times I just misplay a lot. But what can you do? It's a learning experience. I open the Prank Kids, I open Parallel. It's just the absolute nuts every single time. We go straight into the combo, get our Researcher, get a hit. He tries to say that we're gonna whiff, and we don't. We open Baron, we open Scythe, we go into DP because we hard drew Fusion Destiny. It's just so cool. Scythe him in a standby to avoid losing to Dark Ruler. He tries to play through it. I give him that. He does try to play through it. He goes Purple Knight into Blue Sky into Red Moon, I believe the name is. I'm not quite sure off the top of my head. He's trying to make me use my Baron Negate, and I'm purposely saving it. It's just so strong to have to deal with Baron under Scythe. He tries to use, I believe it was the Secrets, the Warlike Sea Secrets, and I just negate it with Dragite. He Iblies me turn 5, which is very interesting. So we're just trying to decide. Chainlink's here. Chainlink 1 was going to be Blue Sky. Chainlink 2 was Baron. Chainlink 3 was Purple Nightfall, and so on and so forth. It was just a very messy thing, but I still managed to get through it eventually. So his end board is Purple Nightfall and a face down Secrets. I negate that with the Baron, and I summon double Guardian and proceed to combo off. It's not that pretty after this.
It's all relying on you, buddy.
I'm pulling Imperm. Trust
I want you to. It all comes down to the...
my final attack. It's a Resonance attack.
So, game day was great. Round 1 was Mech Knights. That was a nice and easy, chill, stupid introductory. I think get into it. Round 2 was Flunders. And that was an interesting match because I didn't think I was going to win that, but the negates were just really, really strong. The round 3 was the only one that I lost. That was Bird Up or Tri Brigade Leerlust. That was the only one I lost, and even then it was really, really close. Round 4 was Sword Soul, and round 5 was Mech Knight again. But yeah, we went X1, took second or first, arguably. We got a box and a half of Brothers of Legend, and we got 6 OTS packs. We didn't pull much of the OTS. Magician Souls, the Dusted Gold, and Malicious Bane. No droplets. Very sad. This was just part 1 of a presumably 6 or 7 part something series of playing in New York.
6 or 7, that's it.
I mean,
that's all there is.
what else are we gonna go to?
I mean, you can go back to the same locals. No one's gonna.
I mean, obviously, yeah. But
No one's gonna. I mean, and
but I
there's.
wanted at least to show off, just show off one time of all of them before I start going back to the different ones.
I mean, there is more than 6 locals. So I can tell you that.
Well, damn, that's why I have you with me. But
Yeah, you're gonna have to start paying me that.
I
Yeah.
know, I will.
But yeah,
Yeah, thanks to my unpaid intern.
intern.
For now.
The
I'm
fuck?
kidding.
I'm not learning anything from
Yeah,
you.
you're learning. I'm learning from you. Shit. It's going to be a very long and interesting new year. Thank you all so much for watching. Stay safe and stay winning.